If you want easy, slow cooker chicken recipes that are healthy, hearty and full of flavour, but don't want to spend your evenings chopping, stirring or stressing about dinner, these 5 recipes from teriyaki to chicken casserole will make midweek meals a total doddle. So our first high protein chicken recipe is shredded chicken teriyaki. This is just a chuck it and forget it recipe. We're throwing everything into the slow cooker and it's going to do all the hard work. So we're starting with pineapple juice, soy sauce, that's the dark kind, along with some corn flour mixed in a little bit of water to help thicken things. Make sure you mix it in the water first rather than just adding it in so it doesn't go all clumpy. Equal measures of garlic and ginger paste and a kilo of chicken breast that you've trimmed any of the yucky bits off. Mix it through, lid on, give it 2 hours on high or about 4 hours on low. Just make sure the chicken's cooked all the way through so it hits 74 degrees Celsius in the middle. Remove the lid, get your forks in and shred it all up. You could serve the whole chicken breast if you want, but I think when you shred it, it just coats more of the chicken in the sauce and is a better way to use up the sauce. So this is how I do it. And then all you need to do is just plate up and get stuck in. Goes really well with rice, noodles or in a sandwich the next day. Keeps in the fridge for a couple of days and also freezes well too. Next up, we're going for my current favourite slow cooker chicken recipe, and that is a high protein shredded harissa chicken. Super flavoursome, and again, we're just chucking everything into the slow cooker, no pre-cooking needed. So we're just going to chuck all of our ingredients into it. I probably should mention at this point as well, if you want the full recipe for all of these recipes in this video, you can get them inside my Food for Fitness recipes app. We've got about 450 recipes at the moment and you can download it. There's a link to get the app in the description below. So full recipes are all in the app. Anyway, this recipe isn't a spicy one because my kids eat it, so if you want a little bit more heat, you can add in some chili flakes if you want, but I just cook it the way I'm showing you. I think that's the best in my opinion, but feel free to play around with it. Anyway, once you've added all your saucy ingredients, get your whisk in, mix it up and add in your chicken breast. We're using a kilo. You could use chicken thighs if you wanted, but I think the chicken breast works best. Give it 2 hours on high or 4 hours on low. If you're enjoying the recipe so far, please do hit that like button. So just like the teriyaki chicken, I'm getting the forks in to shred it up so it just coats the chicken in that yummy sauce. And before we plate it up, we're going to add in some Greek yogurt. It doesn't matter if it's low fat or full fat. Again, it just depends on what you like the taste of better and what you're trying to work into your calorie allowance if you're tracking. I'm probably using low fat kind here. That's normally what I've got in the house. And we're going to mix all of that through to just give it a touch of creaminess and then plate it up. This one goes really well with couscous, also with rice. You could have it in a baked tatty as well if you want. And for garnishing, I'm going to put on some parsley and some pine nuts. Get stuck in and enjoy. Next one, we have a balsamic chicken recipe. For this one, because we've got onions in the sauce, we want to give them a little fry first. Now, if you've watched any of my slow cooker videos before, you know that I always recommend you fry your onions rather than just adding them straight to the slow cooker. Fry them gives them much more flavour, it reduces the liquid content of it, so it means that when you add them to slow cooker, your slow cooker recipe doesn't just taste soupy and oniony and minging. So fry your onions and garlic first, and then add all of that into the slow cooker. Once you're done, we're going to add in our balsamic vinegar, mixed herbs or Italian seasoning if you're over in the US, some chicken stock or chicken broth, again if you're American, along with some honey for the yummy bit of sweetness, some corn flour mixed in water for thickness, and we're going to give this about ½ teaspoon of salt. You can add more at the end if you think it needs it. Mix all of that through before adding in your chicken breasts. Usual drill, mix it all through, lid goes on, and we're going to give it 2 hours on high or about 4 to 5 hours on low. I'm not shredding these ones, we're serving it as is. These work really well with rice, also with potatoes as well. There's plenty of sauce, so if you're doing a mashed potatoes, it will just soak up all that yummy gravy. Garnish with some parsley and get stuck in and enjoy. At this point in the video, it'd be great if you could drop me a wee comment in the comment section below. Just let me know how you're getting on and what recipe you're looking forward to trying first. If you're a fan of Moroccan or North African cuisine, you're going to love this Moroccan chicken. I love the contrast between the sweet and the savoury. If you're not a fan of the raisins, don't worry, you don't have to add them. Same with olives, you're not a fan of them, you don't have to add them. But it's just such a yummy recipe. So first thing, we're going to prep our veggies. We do need to do a little bit of frying first. If I'm using chicken thigh fillets, I normally fry them before going to the slow cooker, just to allow them to crisp up a bit and get some colour on them. So we're doing it on a high heat. We don't need to cook it all the way through. That will happen when we add them into the slow cooker. We're just going to get some colour on them, and then we're going to add them into the slow cooker. We're going to get that pan back on the heat. We're going to reduce it down to about medium. You don't need to add any oil in it. There should be enough from the chicken thighs. And we're going to fry those onions for about 5 to 10 minutes until they soften. And then just at the end, we're going to add in our garlic along with our spice mix and give that a further 30 seconds. Then we're going to add in our stock, use it to scrape any burnt bits off the bottom of the pan, and then just tip all of that into the slow cooker. We're pretty much ready to go. We just need to add a few other bits and pieces. Corn flour mixed in the water along with a ½ teaspoon of salt, and then some tomato puree or tomato paste if you are in the US. Mix it all through. Now you know what happens. Lid goes on, 2 hours on high, 4 hours on low. And then when it's ready, we're going to add in some green olives. If you like them, you can easily leave them out. And same with raisins or sultanas at the end. Just mix it through, pop the lid on it, and we're just going to give it a little bit more time just to bring all that up to temperature. When it's ready, it really does look super tasty, and honestly, this is one of my favorites. This and the Harissa chicken, I think, are my two, but you can let me know what you enjoy. Plate it up. Like you can see, I'm serving it with couscous. You can serve it with a dollop of yogurt or some kind of mint sauce on the side. Garnish with parsley, give it a little squeeze of lemon, and then just get stuck in, and try not to eat all of it at once because it's so Moorish. Right, lastly, we have a slow cooker chicken casserole. Super easy. We're just bunging lots of veggies and the chicken all in it. Cooks all in the one pot, and it is a winner, especially at this time of year. So, chicken thighs, like I said in the last video, we're going to brown them on a high heat just to get some color on it, season with black pepper, and then we're going to add them into the slow cooker. If you're not a fan of chicken thighs, you can easily use chicken breasts, but some recipes I think work best with chicken thighs, other chicken breasts, and sometimes I just fancy a change, different texture, different flavors. Once they're ready, reduce the heat down to medium, get your onion on and fry that, and then add the garlic right at the end before adding in your white wine. If you're wondering what is wrong with my wine, it's actually frozen wine. If I have any leftovers, I freeze it. I know leftover wine is a strange concept, but if I have it, I use it for cooking. We reduce it down to burn off the alcohol, and then we're going to add in all our veggies. You can add in more veggies than this if you want, but I'm using mushrooms, carrot, and potato. Add in our various seasonings and some mustard, corn flour at the end, and chicken stock. Now, we're going to cook this a little bit longer than we would normally, just to make sure that all those veggies are cooked through and they aren't hard. So we're going to give it about 3 hours on high or about 5+ hours on low. Then we're adding lots of fresh parsley in at the end, and then all we need to do is plate it up. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and if you want the full recipes, like I said, you'll get them in my app. There's a link in the description below. See ya!